Most creators spend 10 hours editing a video and lose majority of their viewers in the first 3 seconds. This is not exaggeration. This is what is exactly happening. And you know what's the crazy part? It's not your content, it's not your camera, it's not your editing. It is the first thing which you show or tell. The first thing, the first click. In the next 12 minutes, I'm going to be explaining you what exactly a hook is, how it works psychology with your viewers, and 5 hooks which you can use in your everyday content, and one dead simple method to design any hook. Let me give you an overview of what your viewers look at. They're scrolling, they're bored as hell, their thumb is ready to move to the next video, and you have like 3 seconds or maybe less to convince them to stay. And majority of the people will open with this: "Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel." That is the dumbest hook of all time, I feel. It just says that you exist. Let me tell you the truth. Viewers don't owe you attention. You have to earn it, and that too instantly. That's where a hook comes in handy. It makes them retain to your video and watch it.
YouTube, Instagram, every platform's algorithm rewards watch time. If people are clicking off your video in the first few seconds, the algorithm buries it. But if people stay, it gets pushed. A good hook isn't a creative trick. It is the single most important factor in whether your video gets seen at all.
Let's define what a hook actually is. A hook is something that grabs the attention of your viewer and makes them stay and watch it. It could be a sentence, it could be visuals, it could be sounds, or it could be all three at once. It gives them the reason to keep watching your video. That's it. If the hook keeps your viewers' attention, you have a hook, or you don't. The hook is not your logo, it's not your identity, it is not you saying your name. It is way before all that. It is the first thing which the viewer sees, and it should be compelling enough to make them stay and watch your video before even knowing who you are. Here's the complicated part. Hooks which work for one video may not work for another. A hook for a vlog is different from a hook for a finance channel, and a hook for a fitness video is different from a hook for a tutorial. So instead of giving you guys one generic formula to make your hooks and calling it a day, I'll give you the 5 main types of hooks which you can use in your content right now and increase your views a hell lot. Before getting into the types of hooks, you need to understand why hooks actually work. If you understand psychology, you can intuitively create your own hooks instead of memorizing formulas, which will be very boring for you guys. First, it's the curiosity gap. It's the gap between what someone wants to know and what they need to know. Once you create the gap, your brain cannot relax until it closes it. That is the exact reason why someone can't hear the first half of the conversation without hearing the rest. A good hook opens a loop. They tease something, they raise a question, they promise a reveal, and the viewer keeps watching until they close the loop. For example, I made $50,000 doing something which people would laugh at. Right? Doesn't this build a curiosity in you? Like, you want to know what they did. This way, you open a gap. Second, it's pattern interrupt. Our brains are running on autopilot, mindlessly scrolling because our feeds have become predictable. A pattern interrupt is something that breaks the autopilot. For example, it could be a weird angle or sound or a bold statement. These things break your autopilot and your brain snaps to attention when something doesn't fit the pattern, and that is your gap. Third is self-relevance. People pay attention to things which they find relevant to them. If your hook speaks directly to your viewers' problems, desires, and identity, they'll stop. They'll feel like the video is made for them. Example, you have been posting for the past 6 months and you still have 0 views. This is why. These types of hooks are meant for particular people. These people will stop and will watch your video. Majority of them will scroll, and that's fine because hooks are not meant for everyone. It is made for the right people. Alright, let's get into the actual types. I'm going to give you 5 and I'm going to tell you what it is, when to use it, and I'll also give you a real example. First, it's the bold calm. It's a straight up statement which provokes the viewer's attention. It challenges them, that's why it's great. Example, Most advices about growing on YouTube are completely wrong. It works best for optional videos, educational content, or commentary. Why it works? Because it triggers a disagreement or agreement in the viewer's mind. Second, it's the open question. Here you ask a question which the viewer is asking himself but hasn't yet gotten an answer. For example, why does your video look cheap even though you have a very expensive camera? It works best for tutorials, how-to content. The key is that you are asking a question which the viewer is already asking himself. So he has a right motive to watch your video. It actually strikes the right pain point in your viewers as well. Third, it's the story open. Here you start from the middle of a story out of nowhere and you start with the most interesting point. Example, I had 3 clients and I did one mistake and I lost all of them in 48 hours. This builds a curiosity in your viewers, which will make them compelled to watch your video. It works best for vlogs, personal studies, case studies, etc. Fourth, it's the shock contrast. Here you present two opposite scenarios and make the viewer want to connect them. Example, I posted every day for 1 year straight and I grew by 200 subscribers. That contradiction, effort versus zero results, doesn't make sense, right? It builds a curiosity in you. That's why the viewers retain to your video and watch it. It works best for failure lessons, case study, etc. Fifth, it's the visual hook. This is by far my most favorite one. As the opportunities are unlimited, it only depends on your creativity. Here, you show a visually appealing shot at the start, which will capture the attention. It could be a weird camera angle, a very good edit, or even a weird location. It works best for creative tutorials, case studies. Here's a simple formula how you can frame your hooks. Hook equals tension plus specificity plus promise. Tension is the gap, it is the conflict which you make in the viewer's mind. Specificity is you have to be specific. Like, take an example of a hook which tells the time period. And it is better to say 6 months than 10 years. Promise. Promise is where you have to make the viewer continue to watch your video. The viewer should think that the video will pay off for him. Let's take a bad hook and fix it according to this formula. In today's tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to edit. This doesn't have a specific reason, no tension, no promise. Here's a good hook. Your video editing is amateur. Here are the habits which are causing it. This actually has a tension, a really good specific point, and it gives a promise where the viewer will think it pays off. Practice this. Take any video you have right now, write down the hook, tension, specificity plus promise. Write 5 hooks. The 5th one will always be better than the first one. A good creator always writes it down. Here are some common mistakes that a few people make. First is burying your hook. You start with the context and you keep the interesting part later in the video. By that time, the viewers are not even there to watch it. Second, it is over-promising. Sometimes people over-promise, which will make the viewer compelled to watch your video. But after watching it, they won't get the satisfaction. That kills their attention and their trust on you. Third is generic pain points. Your hook shouldn't be really vague. Like, here's how I edit. It should be pointing at the pain point of the viewer. This is the full breakdown of what a hook actually is, the 5 types of hooks, and how to frame your own hook with the formula. If this video has helped you, drop down in the comments the hook which you framed. And if you want part 2 of how to keep people watching after the hook, do subscribe because that is coming. That's it for today. I hope you guys have a great day. Peace out.